Welcome to kcheebplays, Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Let's get started. Christoph and Kalinka had a lazy Saturday, an unusual sleep-in with no thought of going to the office. Kalinka asked Christoph, "What made you propose last night? We've talked about marriage many times. I thought we'd decided it wasn't necessary." "I honestly can't tell you," Christoph admitted. "I'm not a man of impulse, but there seemed to be something in the air." I was struck by love and embraced her. He kissed Kalinka tenderly on the cheek. She blushed and said, "I like this side of you, Christoph. Very easy to get used to." She gave him an equally tender kiss on the cheek. Christoph's face flushed and he said, "But my love, you still haven't answered me. I need to know if you'll be my wife." Kalinka looked deep into Christoph's eyes and said one word. "Yes." Ulyov and Ludmila had risen early that day and decided to take a tour of Kiamna. They planned to scout locations for city improvements and enjoy the day. They walked up and down the streets and pathways hand in hand, taking notes where the aesthetic needed help and marveling at the hustle and bustle of the city. Ludmila mentioned more than once how much she enjoyed this. So much better than worrying about timelines, suppliers backtracking on commitments, and incomplete plans. "Ulyov," she said, "can we freeze this moment and live it forever?" He raised his right hand, snapped his fingers, and said, "Done, my love." Clarence went into the office very early to work out plans for the Republic's first metro. He'd spent a good deal of time conversing with Dennis and having him help work out some issues and generally bounce ideas off. His real philosophy was ingrained now, and the metro gave a new opportunity to further separate materials and passenger traffic. He spent the last hour putting the finishing touches on those plans and closed the folder. "This is going to be fantastic," he exclaimed. He quickly looked around to see if anyone was within earshot, laughed at himself, and left for the football grounds. The club he played for was putting on a fundraiser game, and he wanted to be at his best. Ulyov remarked, "Ready to call it a day? All this walking has got me a little tired." Ludmila replied, "I just want to have a look at one more part of town. The sports complex looks like an afterthought. I think it could do with a special touch." Ulyov was enjoying himself. "Lead on," he replied. The closer they got to the complex, the busier the city became. It felt like everyone was heading the same direction. They approached the front gate and realized there was an event happening. Ulyov exclaimed, "Isn't that the club Clarence plays for? They're putting on a fundraiser. I wonder why he never mentioned it." "It's a good cause and it's been ages since I've seen a match. Let's go in," Ludmila implored. They gave their 10-ruble donation, found seats, and had a wonderful time cheering and moaning with the rest of the fans. Sadly, Clarence's team was no match for their opponents, but the attendance record was broken and the charity's goal was reached. 10,000 rubles for the city's orphans. Hi, Cheeb here. So, let me get right to the point. What we're going to be doing here is making sure that we get the rest of this road paved, or as much as we can of it getting it paved, continued on, hopefully, and I'm not 100% sure if it's going to happen, but hopefully we'll be able to get that done and rolled out this episode. If not, for sure, we'll have the whole bus transfer idea set up and ready to go for the next episode. Hoping this one, but again, I'm not 100% sure if that's going to happen. We've got this little section here started. My idea is to have the station over here. That's going to be more than enough, distance, if you will, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways. The words I'm having trouble figuring out is the tram stop. It'll be here, and it'll be well within walking range for the gravel processing. But I do want to keep rolling with the construction in this area, the construction of the bus line. This is happening here. Let me quickly check to see. Yeah, just let those finish up before we start doing anything else. And then the last bit that I need to check on occasionally is how we're doing with our construction over here. Now, when I left it, we were starting to get some of the rail buildings built so that we can continue working on the rail for the return path. So have a quick look at the building, see what's there. Got all the materials, just need some people, so I can't imagine the helicopter will be too far away getting people. All the materials are there as well. And here, so that's awesome. That's looking like it's going to be on track. It's just a matter of, I think I've made those all high priority. Oh, and if you missed last episode, I did switch over to the beta branch. It's an interesting, I wouldn't necessarily say it's an experiment, but an interesting change, seeing all the new features and stuff. So it's good. I like it. Yeah, I'm going to be sticking with it. I don't have much option now unless I go back and re-record stuff, and I don't think I'm not up for that, and I'm pretty sure you guys wouldn't be either. So at any rate, that's what we're going to be checking on. Need to go grab the train CO. You know that I like to keep that open because, well, reasons, whatever you want to call it. I seem to have fun and games with that stuff. Looks like everything's reasonable. We don't have steel here right now. Hoping that there's steel on its way. Okay, yeah, we got a bunch of flatbeds on their way, so I'm sure there's some steel in there, so that's good. And the last little bit that's probably going to be the lion's share of this little adventure is going to be replacing this train station with a metro station and having the other end of the metro right down in this area here. This is right between the two factories that need people and well within walking distance. And what this is going to enable is basically the retirement of both of these passenger lines. So that means less train traffic in there and a complete separation for this area of the material and passenger traffic. So that's a good thing. Still have this little mess to clean up, but we'll definitely get there once I get everything separated out and I can remove the passengers from there. So what that's going to necessitate is selling two of our rail construction vehicles and picking up one of these or two of these handy guys. Pretty expensive, but they do a pretty good job in my tests that I did. Once they get rolling, they're taking care of it. So it's going to be quite an interesting little like I said, adventure, I guess. Starting to repeat myself, so I should probably get doing something so I'm not repeating myself. Words. Right. Keep up with, and this is Miadzal's, correct? And I think we could do this stretch here as well, because they can get to that from both sides. Oh, there's a little piece right in there. Well, it has to be done at some point, right? So, yeah, I'm pretty sure Madzal's got lots to do. And we'll check back in a moment or two. Could probably get this section. Just want to make sure there's nothing coming through dropping. We shouldn't have anything dropping off, any trucks dropping off for a few months. So they're coming in here. So I really don't want to shoot myself in the foot with that one. So now I've got a bunch of little sections to deal with, right? This can definitely be done as well, or started, so we'll get that on the go. So let me tell you what needs to happen. So the nice thing about this station is there really isn't much in the way of traffic set up here. I've got a bus route that was from way back in the day when I was fighting with the geothermal and trying to get it dealt with. So don't want to sell those vehicles. What I want to do is just get rid of this one. Though it's probably not the end of the world if I don't. So this one, what I need to do is, just going to pause this for a quick second, is redirect the train. So instead of station 2, they're going to be coming here. I should probably make sure that nobody is stuck in here going out so they can keep going that direction. Oops. this station. Okay, hopefully I don't mess anything up. And I want to remove Sula Station 1 or Sula Station 2 and change that route. Okay, that looks good. So that one's dealt with. And then we have one more. And we'll be doing the same thing, just redirecting it. Going here and removing this one. So that should take care of both the routes going that direction. And I want to turn off people waiting here so that they'll try to migrate down here. And we should be able to let that run. Okay, so far so good. Now, the next thing that needs to happen. Oh, there was a train in here. Didn't see that. Hopefully he doesn't get confused. Good, he's going to Grigardita, so. Just let him get out of there. And then I can get rid of this. And then I'll probably be doing a little bit of work in pause mode just as I get things kind of squared away for what I need to do to, yeah, everything's good there. It's past that point, so we can get rid of this one now. I'm in pause mode to let it run for a bit to let the smoke clear, so to speak. Not so to speak, in actual reality. Not sure if you saw the announcement today too, but that's going to turn into recycling at some point. Kind of interesting, waste management recycling. I think there's a company for that. So let me get this stuff fixed up because I need some space. And get rid of that little chunk of road right there. And most of this rail can go right up to about here, if I'm not mistaken. Just get the rail piece out. So if I take that out of there, and this to there, that gives me a decent starting point. And now I can get rid of, feels weird deleting stuff in this game and redoing. Honestly, it just not something I've really done very often. Most of it I just make mistakes and I leave it and deal with it and work around it. But this isn't necessarily a mistake, it's just it's a change, so maybe that's a better way of putting it, dealing with my change. So what I need now is for citizens, and I would need there it is right there, the metro station with entrance. This will fit right there, and I'm gonna need some kind, I'd like to have a road connection. I don't absolutely have to have one. I'm gonna have to turn this around so I can get this, maybe even mirror it. Oh, there's a road connection there. I do want it facing this direction. No, how do I get a road in there? I don't. So let's mirror this and try one more time. Reasonable chance I can get a road up and out that way. So I think I'm going to run with this here. Okay, when we look at this underground and get the metro lines out, you can see there's an in and an out, and then an out and an in. So those become fairly important. The other thing that we need is we need an end station here as well. What the end station does is as they come in and drop off, you want them just to go straight back around. It lets them do the turnaround and come back out the way and head back down to the next stop. So this is going to be quite a self-contained route, meaning it's not going to be running from town to town to town. We're going from Yamnov down to the chemical and oil processing plant. So let me get the little underground station here. Want to have a little bit of an angle on this. Just makes it easier to get connected up. I think that's going to work. The tunnel. Oh, it's going to work. I was thinking it might be too short, so that's good. Now, the other piece that I need to do now is come above ground. So we start from here. Turn this on this kind of an angle, and we want to be above ground somewhere in this area here. I do want to be above ground. I lost my mind. Okay, I gotta come straight out here. That's probably part of the issue that I'm seeing. It's gonna be a matter of getting this placed correctly. Interesting. I would have thought that would work pretty well right there. Don't tell me I have to do this from this end. Oh, saw it flash green for a second there as I brought it up this way. There we go. Interesting. I'm just playing Q, hitting Q and E to get that to cooperate. Maybe I shouldn't fuss this too much. And get that there. Should be able to make that corner nicely. And by corner, I mean this connection down here. Not sure how much I love that, honestly, although it's a little hard to... It's not the worst. Not the worst. There I am. It's not the worst, so is it the best? Actually looks pretty reasonable, fairly gentle curve. And the next piece is connecting this up to the electric track. And that's not really that much of an issue, quite honestly. It joins straight up, although I don't like the angles that I'm coming at here. Not the best. Slight wiggle, but it certainly isn't going to be a piece that's used very much. And I'm justifying it. Then the last bit that I need to deal with, excuse me, is getting a bridge in place to allow a train depot. And what I need is a nice flat area. What I'd like to do is have the depot in close to the track here for two reasons, and this is where Dennis's wisdom kicked in. What it does is it allows me to connect my tram line straight down here, and then it also gives me the ability to purchase trains from here and put them into service on the electric track, the goods track. So I think it's probably best that I put a little, so there's going to be a little bit of terraforming here, and I don't really want to mess too much with the track itself in terms of having the terraforming stuff overflow and spill onto it and do all those ugly kinds of things. I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best elevation to deal with this from, and how far back I need to make it go, because it's going to be downhill this way and then a little bit uphill this way, and I want to kind of split the difference a little bit to see where that fits. Okay, should be enough to give me a reasonable yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so there's our depot, and just show you quickly what I mean by you can't cross. So this is the metro track. You can see there. You bring it here and it just stops. There's no way to get this across. So you go under it or you go over it. And I can't go under this, so I certainly don't want to build a tunnel underneath. But I can raise this road up and go over, and I think it'll be kind of a nice little effect on for that area. So I don't think there's a reason to be in pause mode anymore, so I can let that run so stuff actually gets done. And I got to figure out a way to, because I think there's a circular bus route here, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I didn't even implement that yet. No, I'm sure I have. Yeah, there's the clockwise and counterclockwise, and I'd like to keep that functioning while I take this chunk of road out and build my my overpass, so I can get my connection through. And this should be fine. Looks like the elevations are no issue really for the track to go that direction and coming down this way. It's a little steep there, is it? Can probably, don't need to take this too far, but just smooth that out a little bit. Deal with the situation. Don't want to do that all the way through here anyway. Going to be a road coming around this way for construction purposes. And the smoother you can make that transition, the better. From a lumpy, bumpy perspective as well as anything else. So do a quick test to see how we're looking coming down here, and it's shouldn't be any issue getting that connected in on that side when the time comes. Well, good. Success. Okay. Now, another quick question. Keep an eye on this number. Yell at me if you see that going down, okay, please? Thank you. Okay, how do I make this happen? Keeping the traffic in place. The only place I can cross over is right here with a road. Right, I'm kind of thinking out loud here about exactly how I'm gonna deal with this. Semaphores. Well, great idea. Let's see, can I come through? Oh, that will go through there. Should have kept going while I was moving. Seems to work better. It's further away. Oh, I saw green. I know it's there. And then I will connect you into that because I know that I'm going to be taking my bridge from this point and building it out. I should be able to just nip this back a little bit so that I can get it turned, and we'll come back here just to, yeah, that bus route isn't super important, and we can work with it. Okay, road. Now, let's see. Where do I want that to be deleted to? I think I need it to go that far back. I think somewhere in this range is as far back as I need it to go. Okay. Now, you're not going to let me connect to that, are you? And let me just... Oh, it was on pause. And if I take that one out, then I don't know. I'm not sure if this will actually go through. I guess I'll see some question marks on the buses if it does. So we've been coming up, or I've been coming up 3 and trying to keep this as straight as possible. Somewhere right in that neighborhood there was where I was looking for that. Now I'm going to work from this direction. Okay, and then a handy little trick that Dennis showed. He's full of. If I go halfway with this, I go full way with that, and then I delete the inner one, and then I come back with this and go halfway, and then I can delete this one. And also delete this one. And you end up with much smoother transition. You can still see it, but it's nothing like it was. And we should be able to do a similar thing on this side, even though that looks pretty reasonable, quite honestly. More than enough room for trains and catenaries, so I think that's a win, honestly. Okay, well, I'll commit to this. This looks like a pretty reasonable thing to do. It's going to take a long time to get it built, and I'm pretty sure we can get to both sides. And I just need a quick connection in from here. We're just going to do a little dirt road for the time being. It's really just going to be for construction. It looks pretty reasonable to me. Oh, I was a silly boy. I forgot to run my rail lines through first. So guess what? I'm going to get to do this all over again. Yay. Got to run my rail lines through first. And that means my bypass isn't going to work either, because that can't be there. Sometimes you think you're smarter than the average bear, and you're not even close. So let me get my metro line through here. Trying to see where I want that to. That will work. In and out. Good. And from a construction perspective, I'm quite sure I'm going to need that other side to come in here. So, but we're not anywhere near having to deal with that. So, okay, let's start this road process over again. Actually, before I do get too far with that, let me go check and make sure that we're building some other roads. And get myself lost while I'm at it. Okay. Yep, we're making progress here. Good, doing well there. Haven't quite finished this yet, so there's really no point in starting another section, especially if we've got two sections. Yeah, it's good. Well, all well and good. And working. Got another one working on this side. Got a nice big crane in there. And yeah, not fast. We've got it doing a number of jobs. Probably do a quick check on food. How we're doing here. We have no food. We have workers. That's worrying. Yeah, you saw me hit pause. Looks like everything got gummed up, and this is the kind of situations we're trying to get dealt with. Make sure that doesn't happen. Shoot. Well, I'm pretty sure, depending on, well, there's enough food there. We definitely have crops in there, so that's cool. But having people working at these places is a thing. I'll definitely drop people off. Bringing a full load in. That was scary. I'm like shaking my head, thinking how happy I am that all of this is going along so nicely. And then, bam, no people. Kind of like Emerald there. I don't know if you guys know who Emerald is. He was and he still is, a very good chef. Watched him a fair bit on the Food Channel. He was one of their first real celebrity type people, and that was one of his little trademarks, was just, get a little spice in, and as he threw the spice, he went bam. So that's where that came from. Anyway, I mean, what we got some other stuff in here that we want done as well, because it's just going to make the turning, it's a little sharp, but should work okay. The shipbuilding, lost again, yes. Yeah, actually making progress now that we have plastic. Imagine that. Okay. Here we are. Okay, so I've got the first half of this somewhat done. I want to get my the start of my road again. So bring this out. I go up 3 right to there. And do the same thing on this side. Come up 3. And then get a nice curve to that. Oh, beautiful. And I build the little guide on that side. Remove the inner one. Take this one halfway. Remove this one. And then this will come down to ground level and should give a really nice, about as smooth as this game will allow you, transition from the angles. So delete this one and that one. I think I can probably delete the guide. It needs to have a slightly different angle for some reason. A little bit of a high point there. I can live with that. It's right over the track, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay. We're running with it. And the rest of my little temporary road in here can go as well. And I'd like to get rid of my node. Thank you. Okay, I need to go build the other end, but while I'm up here, I'm going to check and see. Wow, we have station, which means we can start running some more rail through. Find my rail office, which I inconveniently closed again. That escaped one too many times. Sorry for the flipping around there. Okay, let's get a little bit more work done here. Should be able to get it's interesting that we can't get to both sides of that track. Oh, that's not built yet. Is this the first side of the electrification? Yeah, it is. Okay. By that side's not dealt with. Okay, that's cool. We're working our way through. We got 4. We do. That'll keep him busy, especially once he gets over here, and I'll probably end up working that whole thing all the way back, which is cool. It's all good work. Getting close. Loving how this is coming along. Again, not the fastest thing ever, but definitely getting done. Long ways from home. Okay, so the other end of this, so we can see how we're looking underground here with this. We have our depot, which feeds into the end station, and oh no, sorry, that's not the end station, that's the start of the tunnel. This is the end station, and this is the passenger platform. And that's the rest of the other end of this is basically the reverse of this, where I have a passenger platform and an end station at that end as well, because need to be able to turn around at both ends. So let's get this in place. This one right here. Pretty sure I want this facing this direction. Try to sneak it this way as much as I can so I can get the road connection through. Okay. And the same scenario for depots. I want the underground one. And I want this one up as close as I can get it, because I need to get the road through, and I can see an oil pipe right there. This might be too close. We'll see. See if it's going to cooperate. Actually, that's not right. We need the tunnel. Yeah. And it's just a little too close. Oops, wrong one. I don't know if I can sneak that through there. Honestly. Actually, I get smart about this if I go this way. None of this stuff is above ground, so it's going to be easy to flip it around the other way. So just give yourself enough space. And you're fine. Just looking at things like they're... Oh, yes. Yes, there would be something in the way there. There we go. Okay, cool. Now, the next part of this is running our underground out of here and down to there. So, just like any other rail, just keep drawing and take it as far as you can get it to go. I don't want that coming above ground there. Yeah, I don't like that. Should have paid a little closer attention to this side. Just from actually having it come straight out isn't a bad idea. Don't necessarily need to have it all swoopy around either, but I'd like to have it fairly smooth, fairly gentle curves. This is going to be the oops, where are we here? Oh yeah, wrong end. This end right here. This was a tricky. I don't know if it's because it's above ground or not far enough underground that it was complaining about that. That will come in that direction, or it seems to want to anyways. Anyway. Oops, don't do it. Almost took out the above ground track. That would have been disaster. Oh. Tunnel, please. Thank you. Why are you fighting me on this one? Not sure which building it doesn't like. Maybe I've just completely got the wrong angle with all of this. Let me just mess with this a little bit. Seems like when it hits one of those buildings. Okay, it's pretty substantially underground there. Wonder what this is going to be like. Okay, there we go. Wow, I had to do a little bit of gymnastics there, eh? Why are you not snapping? There we go. Okay. There we go. Metro planned. That comes the scary part. Actually committing to it. Okay, I'm going to come above ground before I commit to everything. I'm going to do another quick check on the other projects that are on the go. Still liking the percentages here. Hopefully we've got people working. And we have food being delivered. Be very nice. There's some there for sure. People working. Good. Those pieces. Got one last piece left here. Nice. He said. Okay, and where are we at here? Get this one going. Good stuff. And not electrified, okay. Now, carefully pick my tram track. Pay attention to which side I'm drawing the catenaries on, and I can't tell from that angle. And it's the wrong side. So it looks to me like I should be able to do... Oh, is there one little one in here? No. Just looked like there was just one little one there. Okay, that side's done. And I think we can actually get them building this as well. Bypass. I don't know if I need the bypass now. Probably need some kind of a bypass from here out to there. So I'm going to do this little section. I can't do a bypass from there. Which means they'll be going out and around. And don't think I can get a little connection in here. There is a node there. Oh, what's that? Wonder if probably have to delete this little piece here. Get rid of this node. And the quickest way around is going to be if I can get this connected through. And it's not going to. Stupid power lines, hey? If I go in behind, it just versus forcing them out, out and around that way. Plus this is blocked off, so probably not a good idea to do that with this this bus station. Block this other side because they'll have, unless I can get this bypass through. Let's see. Let's give it a try. getting rid of a couple of trees that we can plant again later. Oh, I paused that, sorry. Okay, this might work okay. Don't need this little piece here. Yeah, that should let me get this. And if I think I can run, yeah, gotta go from here up. And I can leave that in for the time being. I can get this tram track outside, right? I think I got that on the right side. And how we doing up here? Power, no power, no. Everything's built. Nice. And there's lots of ways around, so I should be able to do this piece without causing too much pain. So I can do both sides of this. Okay. Progressing. And I did find out, or someone found out for me, that would be Frankie's telling me that yes, there is some power that I need to supply to this whole grid. So I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. This is certainly not going to be done, having the tram track built around there. So this episode, I mean, it will be done. It's just not going to be this episode. So this is moving along. The piece, this is done. Can't do this. Yeah, well, there's no way to get a bypass in there, so. So it's going to be a piece at a time, but there's really only three pieces left, so. Awesome. It might come together this episode. Let me go back to our Metro. And probably the simplest thing for keeping this, I don't know, for lack of a better phrase, sane, is building my connection to the electrified rail from this side, building this, and having the track builders come from this side, build, run, and then I'm really not going to be interfering much with any of the traffic through here, so I think that's probably the best decision for me here. And it will need an in and an out. Too steep of a descent. I thought I tested all this. There we go. Confused them. I need to signal this, right? And that's not signaled. We'll have to make that double to double. And these ones don't really matter because it's just the track builders that are going to be worried about that. But that's all good. And I have to build right into the, into the start of this one, just a little concrete crossover. Let me just pause this while I'm doing it because signals. Whoops. Rail, I mean. Signal back in, and then I can let things run again. I can confuse everybody, but hey, sorry. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to get rid of these two as well for time being. And yeah, that looks good. That should be more than functional. So I think I am pretty much ready to commit to this whole thing. I'm in rail mode, so if I commit, we're going to make it happen. The only downside to this whole thing is that we're going to be splitting duties with our other, not our other rail CO, our the whole CO, this whole CO area, because there's stuff that, oh, excellent, that's built as well. It needs to happen to this CO. I got to sell 2 of those and build or buy 2 of the boring. Oh, it stopped. Oh, because that's not built. Okay. Well, I'm only going to be able to keep 2, 1 at a time, actually, because of that. I may end up using the other one down here. It's going to have a really long trip, but it will keep things going. And we're actually not too far away from, well, that's the bridge, and then we got the tunnel. So yeah, it's not necessarily gonna happen right away. So let me see where we're at with this. Get my head around order of everything that I need dealt with here. There's only one on its way. I'm just gonna quickly pause here. Maybe I don't want those boring machines to come from too far away. Yeah, I have to do it here. I want to see where he's at. This one, okay, I can sell that one. Thank you for your service. And I think this one's in here as well. I'll sell that one again. Thank you for everything you've done. And buy 2 boring machines. Probably didn't have to do that right away because it's going to take a little bit of time to get those to the stage where we're using the boring machines. There's a chunk of change. 8 mil. Boom. So I've got 1 going there. And I would like to get this going here. And I need this built as well. Go get my other. Boy, are these guys going to be gone on a long trip. But 20. Okay. Actually, if I buy 2 more here, total capacity. I don't know why these have such a high total capacity. Okay, now I have to go see what types these are. I kind of like those. KZH. KZH. Don't tell me it's not. Mega KZH? Don't think so. KZH 461. That's these ones. Yeah. Buy 2 of those. Yeah, this should work out okay. More equipment. What's the downside? So what I'm going to do is have them continue. I mean, they're going to be going. Yeah, they're going to be going a really long ways over here. Needs must, I suppose. Who's building? Yeah, they started on that. Excellent. So I can get four tracks going here. May as well. Single out, and you may as well finish that one off. One too many escapes. Okay. Let's get organized on this again. Get my head around what needs to happen. Just building. Yep. We'll get this going. Can't get going through there until we get that done. The bridge will be done when it's done. Not overly concerned. Still at 95%. And there's the sports complex. We didn't have a very good showing that day, but it's all good. We had fun and we helped the orphans. Waiting for a reaction from Uliki. We'll see if we get one. Okay. Before I jump too far on the rest of... Oh, this is looking really good here. Oh, we're rolling there. Wheat. Man, these guys are going to town on this. Big time. You know what's going to take the longest? Probably that littlest section right there. Okay, I'm going to just quickly slip into a fairly short time lapse while we get this going. Shouldn't be much more than about 5 minutes of your time, probably about 20 minutes of my time. Do a quick time check and we'll catch you when I get back. Cheers. Right, I'm back, and we looks like we got our full-on paved road from bus station to bus station to bus station, so that's awesome. Right, now, what I'm doing is just setting up the fact that I want workers here only. I'm going to begin by buying 4. I may end up needing 6 on each line, but we'll see how it shakes out. But 4 buses running from here to here, and then 4 buses running from here to here. I'm quite sure I'm going to need 6, but we'll run with 4 to begin with. But we'll see how, like I said, how it goes. We can add buses quite easily. So I'll get the buses on their way because it takes them a moment or two to get there. I was originally thinking about using these buses, but they've only got 45 at a time. Not really quite big enough, and I don't know that they're something. I like their speed. I was going to hold on to them, but I don't know that they're just taking up space. They've been sitting here for so long now that it's just not a huge. Can't see them being used for anything anytime soon. And if I need them for something, I'll use something else. So. Looking at a capacity, and I'd like something in the 90 to 100 range. These are reasonable, but I want something that I can change skins on. I didn't really want to run. I don't mind these. There's nothing wrong with them. There's these Icaruses. They go 80, and they carry 100 passengers. That's probably pretty reasonable. They can go up to 100 on that. Yeah, that's a little slow. And these are way too big, and they only go 65. Yeah, so there's a 2.6. That's not fast enough. 85 for 90. 5K for 10 fewer passengers. 91. 79. Yeah, I think this is the winner. So what are the color schemes? Not a whole bunch of options, honestly. Okay, well, I'm going to get 4 of them in blue. And 4 of them in red. And that way I can tell the difference when I'm looking at them. Because I'm pretty sure they'll get... So the blue ones will be from here to there. To the end station. And pretty standard stuff. Pick up, drop off. No, don't really have to do this. But for some reason, it just makes me feel better knowing that I specified that. Okay, you can start. Then I want to set my line to the other blue ones. Get you going. And then my next line is from here to here, and then the end station. Same scenario. Just load. Unload. Yeah, load, unload, boom. Okay. Line window up. And set these other 3 buses to that. And the next thing that I need to do, and I worked out a little scenario, not really scenario, I did some math. I'm playing a game and I did some math. Yep. So to determine, I try to get as close to an equal distribution of passengers to all of the workplaces. That includes this whole area as well as this area. I totaled it all up and then came up with percentages. So what I'm doing is sending people from here to these workplaces, because ultimately the people that go here, their workplace destination is in this area. So I have those numbers beside me here, and I'm just going to pause this while I set it because I know that I'm going to mess something up. And when I stop and think, bad things happen, or when I don't stop and think. So I want you to go here, to here, to here, and to there. So the bus platform is 25%. The coal mine is 25%. And this is where this makes me a little bit crazy. Get it sorted out. Coal processing is only 14%. And the steel is 33%. Coal processing, 14-ish. Bring that down one. 17. If I go down one, okay, looks pretty close. 25, 25. Yeah, those I can deal with those numbers. So now, when people get dropped off here, they'll just scatter to those workplaces, and I just realized I forgot something. No big deal. Just a quick change to the line. That needs to be a transfer line, because we want people to go to that platform and then wait to be picked up. So here, I set it to be a transfer, and then the people that get off the bus there will wait there, and there should be a whole timing thing that allows them to be picked up by the second line. So I think we're good. Let this run. Hopefully we got a stream of buses on their way, or they're already on their way. Or they're caught up in traffic. I don't know. I'm not sure where they're at, honestly. They're certainly not in the depot. Yeah, here we go. We got a little parade of buses on their way over there. Maybe I will go a little fast forward until I start seeing buses show up here. Then we can... Oh, the other thing I need to do too, and I can probably do that while I'm here, is we can send these trains back to make sure. So there's 3 trains making this trip. Send them back to the depot. And then we can repurpose them later on. That guy's on his way back out, so it shouldn't cause any grief. In terms of what direction he's going. I've done it before where they're on the wrong track and they immediately decide that they have to go, and they say, I can't get there because they're on a track out instead of the track back. So this one's not going to be any problem. And let's check and see where. So that's going to the depot. Where's this one at? Just on his way into. Okay. One, and this one is just heading to, and this one, right, okay, one in, one heading out. So as soon as they get over to the other, excuse me, the other end, drop off their passengers, I'll send them back, because they don't have a way back from in here. They can only come in to this this train line. I can't send them back. It's just, yeah, it's awkward. So basically what we've got going here now is we'll have 3 trains off of this main line and using that junction. So that should help with that whole scenario. And there's our train of buses, there you go, making their way and hopefully doing the things that they're going to be doing. Got a bunch of people waiting. That's cool. It'll start to happen. It takes a moment or two to get it bedded in. as soon as they figure out the line lengths, get the waiting time all sorted out, all that kind of thing. This is set to variable time. So I don't know how to use anything but variable time, and the only reason I know how to use it is because all I have to do is hit a check mark. It seems to space things out nicely. Excuse me. So I'm going to, there's one of them, and I think the other one is probably just coming out now. Oh no, that was the second one. Okay, maybe not. Got our track builders gumming things up. Okay, we got buses running now. Picked up the first guys. Or people, I should say. Still have trouble with non-gender specific pronouns. And it's a good thing I picked those blue and red stripes, because that just stands out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? Oh boy. Where's my other line? Oh, there they go. You taking anybody? A few. Like I said, it'll take a moment to get that all bedded in, so. That's this one. It's just dropping off his passengers. Kind of worked out pretty well, didn't it? Timing-wise anyways. On his way back. Just pause this to make sure I don't miss the opportunity to get him, to send him home. Good, good. Here we go. There he is. Okay. And then once that happens, we're completely reliant on buses for workers. Get your popcorn out, because this could be crazy. Well, maybe not crazy, but might be a good experiment, might not be. I'm pretty confident. I've seen it work reasonably well before, so just in some testing. Slightly different buses, but basically the same speed and capacity, so there always seemed to be people waiting here, which was a good thing. You know, we got a bus that's coming here bringing a bunch of people. And they don't seem to be too, yeah, see, 100 workers, beautiful. It's just going to be a matter if there's enough enough flow there in terms of not leaving gaps and having people walk away from this bus platform. If I do, we'll add another bus or two to it, because I don't think it's going to end up being overloaded. So here's our last train on his way out. Do the same scenario here. I'll send him to the depot. Should be 2 there. Yep, good. And I think we are now fully dependent on our buses. Keep a watch on this till it all kind of sorts out. And there's lots of, yeah, it's another bus reasonably close. There's a little bit of a gap. Could use probably at least one more. I think I'll just add one more to both lines, let it run for a bit, and then we'll call it an episode. What I should be doing, getting the lines sorted out before I go off. And bus total capacity, that was the 556 and the blue one, if I'm not, or the red one. Needed one of those anyways. Okay. Set him to this line and start. Thank you. And the other line that opened up. Assign the bus to the line. It started. And then we can sit back and watch. Should work pretty well. My gauge is going to be the number of people that remain working here. You know, those so far they're pretty maxed out right at this point. So I'm loving seeing that. Last train is long gone, so this is Bus Central. So just to recap that, we have calculated our needs for how many people need to, or the percentage of people that need to go to the workplaces. And I've split that up here. So every time a train drops people off, they scatter to these 4 places, and then we have our buses running. There's a transfer line that's running from here to here, and then a pickup drop-off line from here to here. And there's going to be 5 buses on that line. I'm not sure that I need 6. We'll let that run for a bit next episode just to keep an eye on it. Because what I didn't want to do is overload this end station because there's just too much going on there. So let me quickly check our train stuff. We got 4 working there. That's good. We got 1 done there. We probably can't do too much more. Oh, that's not true. I can assign. Whoops, getting lost again. Get that one dealt with. We could build this as well. Assign that. I think I will get that one dealt with. Once that one's built, then we'll electrify it. And I think that's going to be the episode. So we have the start of our metro. It's going to be a good thing when it's done. That will allow us to free up these 2 stations. I've said that again 100 times. Going to get train traffic off of this route up and over. We've just taken 3 off here. Should help out immensely with the amount of traffic coming through there. All done by buses, trains that have been separated earlier, and then the buses that work through. So anyway, Dennis would be pleased. We're finishing on a fire thing, building on fire pump station. Let's go check it out just to have a laugh. Should have our helicopter on it. No problem. Good. Thanks, Dennis. Let's end the episode on a fire. Cheers. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you being here. We'll see you in the next one.